What's going on, everybody? So, I had another video recorded for the F1 2021 career mode. As you can see, there's one already started. However, it's a bit of an issue with it. Evidently, I didn't have the race distance set correctly. And I guess after you start the career, you can't adjust the race distance, which is kind of stupid because you can change just about everything else but that. So, you know, unless I can't find it, but from what I can tell, you can't make that change. And there's even a little tooltip at some point that tells you that that setting is locked in career mode. So I'm going to start something else. I was going to hold off on doing my team because I was going to do the 2-player co-op with one of my buddies, but F1 2022 will probably be out before he gets a PC and a wheel, so I'll probably just go ahead and start a single player version and then go from there. So, as I was explaining in the previous video, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to post it or not. I will... I had an issue with my AccuForce V2 wheel. So, that wheel's down, and I decided, since the part to fix it, hopefully, is not going to be here until Wednesday, I decided to just go ahead and load up my Logitech, put my Logitech G29 back on the rig, and just see what happens until that point. But I also didn't want to go a week or more without putting out something, so I'm going to do a little bit more of the F1 2021 stuff because I don't want to go through the hassle of recalibrating everything in iRacing for the G29 just to turn around and recalibrate everything again for the AccuForce whenever it does start working again. So, yeah, that's that. Let's see, all assists are off except for the dynamic line on corners only. Some of these tracks I know from iRacing, but a lot of them I don't, so I leave that line on. And then pit release assist I leave on just because I don't normally, in iRacing, I don't typically run I don't typically use the clutch or anything to drop, you know, to leave the pit box, so. Well, I guess you can't change distance, can you? So I was gonna do 50% races. What I planned on doing with my other career was, since it was stuck at 5-lap races, I was gonna do like 25% distance until I got caught up to the current season, and then switch it to 50. But since you can't change it, now I have to think for a second if I want to be doing this all night. Practice and qualifying are going to take a while, so I think I'll leave it at 25%. If it lets you change it after the season, great. If not, then 25% isn't too long, so. Approximate weather. do leave flashbacks on because sometimes dumb stuff happens, and since this isn't nearly as serious of a thing for me as iRacing, then I'll allow for some gaminess. Cool. Weird. So if you use the iconic drivers in my team, you can't turn them off after you start the season. But if you choose not to use them, you can turn them on even after you start the season. That's kind of strange.
Welcome to my team. Here you'll experience the world of Formula One not only as a driver, but as the owner of a brand new F1 team. First things first, let's create your driver.
I'm gonna check something real quick. Okay, cool. There's some funny names in here, like Black Mamba, Old Timer. Commander Shepard. Yeah, I don't really have anything that grabbed my attention there.
And now let's focus on your driver's look.
No, go. They really don't give you a whole lot of options there. basically everything's hideous. Might leave that one. Let's see. That'll work. Check the suit real quick. Change the gloves. Just one of those to kind of stand out a bit. Oh, there's really nothing there.
Great, now let's set up some of the key details of your new team. We'll start with an easy one. What name would you like to give the team? Nice. Now, some kind of income stream is critical, so we need to sign a primary sponsor. Our primary sponsor will pay a sign-in bonus to the team up front. This is vital to cover the early investments we need to make. They'll also provide a valuable weekly income for us. Each sponsor has a goal they want the team to achieve. If we hit that goal, the sponsor will pay us an additional goal bonus. Fantastic, now we've got a budget to work with. Our car won't be going anywhere fast without a power unit. So let's sign a power unit supplier now. We need both performance and durability from our power unit, but we also need to balance the books. We're going to have a lot of other areas to invest our cash into.
Let's see. Probably can't afford Ferrari or Mercedes, so probably go with Honda.
We almost have all the key partners for our team now, but we still need a teammate for you. These are the drivers available to be your first teammate. They have all their own strengths and weaknesses, so consider everything when deciding who to hire. Drivers earn acclaim based on their performances. When a driver earns enough acclaim, they will level up. The higher a driver's level, the more acclaim they will earn for their current team. And remember, the faster the team levels up, the faster our income will increase. The higher a driver's experience, the more resource points are earned to spend on vehicle upgrades. Racecraft is the driver's skill to effectively complete overtakes when opportunities arise. Awareness shows the driver's ability to avoid errors and incidents. Pace describes the driver's ability to set competitive lap times. Focus represents the driver's current form and state of mind. Rating is a summary of the driver's overall skill level.
This guy, he's got a little more experience. His racecraft is decent, pretty good awareness, lacks a little bit in pace, but that's fine.
Looks like we can afford this power unit supplier and teammate. Go ahead and confirm if you're happy. Let's create the livery we will be running this season. We can add more sponsors to the car as we sign them throughout the year. And don't worry, we can edit our look at any time from HQ.
So I know this one's a little bit on the boring side for a video since I'm just setting up everything in my team, but I might run my practice sessions and stuff in this one too, and then save the race for its own video. Some of these are just ugh. Yeah. Oh, this one has 4. That one has 4. it's not the best looking default liveries or what have you, but it has a few more options than the other one did, so go with this one. See how long it takes me to hate it. Not that I'll be able to see it because it's white on white, but
Last but not least, we need to consider our brand, our badge and team colours.
default looks like Jeff Bezos' rocket. Why did it change the emblem? There we go. It's looking black. No.
Great, that's everything we need. You can go back and edit anything we've done so far, and we'll come back here at the start of each season. Or if you're ready to go, hit advance to head to Team HQ, and we can start our push to the top of Formula One.
Hello folks, and welcome to this, a very special edition of Paddock Pass. As you can see, there's no pit lane behind me, and as you can hear, no roar of engines, and that's because they've set me free from the F1 paddock to escape here to the countryside and to the headquarters of Formula One's newest team. Now, it's not every day we get to pull back the curtain and look behind the scenes at an F1 team. Rarer still that we get to talk not only to the team owner, but also the team's lead driver. But what makes this place extra special is that the owner and lead driver are one and the same person. Now, it's been an interesting 12 months, and we all know a number of the regulation changes which were due to come into effect this year have been delayed until next. Some, though, are still seeing the light of day, amongst them the all-important budget cap, which gives some of the smaller teams a little further down the order, potentially, the opportunity to compete with the bigger teams. Good for them, but great for us as viewers. But what does our new team owner think about these new rules? Do they see them as a challenge, a hurdle that needs to be overcome? Perhaps they see them as an opportunity to disrupt the status quo, a chance to come out swinging and to carve their name into Formula One history. Well, I had the opportunity to ask them these very questions just earlier today, and here's what they had to say. Well, first of all, thanks so much for inviting us here today. It's been wonderful to see behind the scenes. As you might expect, I've got about 1 million questions, so let's jump straight in. It's been a long time since we last saw a team owner take their own car onto the track, and the sport's changed enormously in the intervening years. How are you going to handle the responsibilities of both managing and driving for a Formula One team? Let's talk about your teammate. Now, it's clear they're excited to have signed with you, but tell me, what is it that you think they bring to the team? So you've obviously been putting a lot of work into the car. I know it's early days, but how do you expect it to feel out there?
I sure hope so.
Most of the other teams can boast years of experience in Formula One. Where do you see the opportunities to make those vital performance gains you need to put you within reach of the other cars? Ultimately, your success this season is going to come down to whether you can take positions from the other drivers. What is it about your car that's going to give you that edge in those battles? And finally, with so many specialist departments working together here at your headquarters, and with such an important deadline coming up, who's getting that coveted Teacher's Gold Star? Which group do you feel the most proud of right now?
I want to give them a big boost just because
Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been wonderful to get an insight from
all
you.
that
and of
power
course to see
performance doesn't
around
mean anything if
the
it breaks
headquarters.
in 5
Thank
minutes.
you for today. Really appreciate it, and thank you all at home for watching as well. We'll see you very soon.
Oh, man. All right. Oh.
It's important to use the time between races to the fullest extent, and that's where these activities come in. Manage everyone's time as efficiently as possible to maximize the team's performance.
Give you a whole lot of options for taking care of that, but guess that'll work.
This is where you can view our current facilities and the effects they're having on the business. You can also invest some of our cash into upgrades for these facilities.
So I noticed this in F1 2020 is my team, but I think it's kind of comical that their simulator is not even as fancy as mine right now. Single screen, it kind of looks like the CSL V1 wheel system, maybe a Thrustmaster, I guess, but and then the pedals are definitely Thrustmaster. I think the T3PAs or something. So that's kind of funny. I think that's a Thrustmaster wheel too, but like a quote-unquote not Thrustmaster wheel. Let's see. Excuse me. So we have 1,000 resource points. I know in past games they always said that wanted to upgrade your engine power more than anything. So I don't know if that still holds true these days or not. It looks like that will have a pretty significant impact on car performance. Then again, I don't want to waste the resource points on increased failure chances. And they're all 40, I guess, so. Alright, let's see. Are these still... So that wasn't more. Got 4 more days. Probably should have set that up already, but don't want to waste resource points on stuff. Alright. So yeah, here we go. Season 1, round 1. I'll probably go ahead and do practice and qualifying on this video, and then go into, or at least practice, and then we'll do qualifying in the race in the next one. At least then y'all get to see a little bit of driving in this one. Excuse me.
Welcome to the team. I'm Ollie. I'm the team's head of R&D. I'm here to help you deliver the results the team expects. Do that, and I'm sure we'll get on great. Your workstation's all set up and ready to go. Don't let us down.
Is there a chance of rain in the desert? So I'm no expert on Formula One. I've been watching it a little more frequently and playing the games and stuff, but there's certain things I don't quite get well enough to make good use of them. So for example, the weekend tire allocation, I'm probably gonna skip that and just go with the default. So yeah, so I've had some issues, I guess, acclimating to running this thing with the G29. It seems like, I mentioned this in the other video that I may or may not post, but it seems like the it seems like these cars are a lot harder to drive, and I can't tell if it's because I'm so used to driving these games now.
Morning, boss. Jeff here. Thanks again for bringing me on board. You've found a lot of talented people for this team. I can't wait to see what we can accomplish. Our journey to the Constructors' Championship starts here today, and the car is ready to head out whenever you are.
Okay. I don't know if it's because I'm used to the forces and everything from the, the other wheel, from the AccuForce wheel, but like the G29 doesn't feel nearly as strong as it did before I had the AccuForce wheel, because I have the force feedback turned all the way up in this game, and it still feels super light, so it's kind of hard to get a handle on it. And it's hard to kind of feel when the car is slipping. So probably gonna spin out a lot, so enjoy that little show. But yeah, get started, at least on practice. Since I've already done this a couple times, have a setup. Haven't quite figured out how to use the Steam Workshop setups, and since the game just came out a week ago, there probably isn't much on there anyway. So yeah, gonna go out and do the track acclimatization. So rifle lap without leaving the track, 5 consecutive corners in, stay within 2 meters of the racing line for an entire lap.
Okay, your goal is to get through as many corner gates as quickly and precisely as possible. Remember to activate your DRS in the DRS zone as well.
I remember I difficulty set to 90, so I may suck this season since it's a new team and everything.
DRS zone is coming up. Get ready to open it. Distance is on your MFD.
Yeah, the car just seems more sensitive on throttle in this game than in past games.
That's fantastic. You obviously have a really good understanding of this circuit.
Feels like the weight of the rear end is getting thrown around. I haven't found a setting that really kind of gives me the security that I want. And that's about as good as we're going to get, though.
Great stuff. You've pretty much nailed this circuit. This is a really strong foundation to build from over the weekend.
I knew there was going to be at least one that was going to be green.
Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can talk you through the numbers. There's only one lap of fuel remaining. You're nearly out of fuel, almost out of fuel. You need to pit within the next 2 laps. Come in this lap, please. Box this lap. When driving with the pit assist disabled, you'll need to be mindful of your speed when entering the pit lane. If you hit the limiter line too fast, you'll pick up a penalty. Watch the on-screen prompts that show your target speed and distance to the limiter line.
Gotta practice pit entries. It's got 5 of 5 there. And this P1. So I'm gonna go ahead and accelerate time. Try to do like 1 program per session. since it's not like the old days where you had like 5 programs to complete over the course of the weekend. I don't know if they felt that that was just too many for people or what, but I mean, I was always able to get them all done within the first 2 sessions usually, unless I like really screwed it up. Also, I noticed the better your team is, the harder it is to complete those programs. Because like in 2020, I would race with Haas or something and could easily complete all the practice programs with no issues. But then if I tried to do it with like McLaren, then I sucked.
And with all the cars now over the line, let's see our top 3 again. Hamilton, Perez, and Charles
Stop
Leclerc.
going down.
And if today's practice is anything to go by, we're in for an exceptional weekend of Formula One.
We are bad. Even Mazepin did better than us. Like I said, though, I don't expect to be good. It's first season for the team, and I don't exactly have the difficulty turned down to where I'm smoking everybody in my first season, because that wouldn't be realistic at all. So, P2 in... This is kind of neat for later in the season when I just don't feel like running the practice programs anymore. But for now, I'll keep doing that. This might take the entire program. I've never been very good at this particular program. If I don't get purple on this one, I'm fine. I just need to get green and I'm good. Although it is a lot easier to do this with a wheel
In this program,
and
we want
pedals.
to focus on fuel-saving technique. Lift and coast through corner entry to save as much as you can while keeping under the minimum lap time.
Good old G29 rattle. Whoa.
Okay, decent lap there, but there's still more to find. Keep at it.
Just barely. Yes.
complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that.
I thought that was going to go worse. So I got purple. I'm not going to bother with trying to stay within 2 meters of the racing line for an entire lap. So guess accelerate, skip ahead to race strategy, and then that'll be it. So setup feels pretty decent. It's one that I picked up off of a website. It's a little bit understeery in this car. In the McLaren it was all over the place, but in this car it's a little understeery, but that's fine. I think I can kind of manage that a little bit better than the other way around, since I can't really feel what's going on with this wheel.
It's time to remind ourselves of our top three, who are Hamilton, Bottas, and Sergio Perez. What an incredible practice session. The fun doesn't stop here, though. Join us again as the rest of the weekend unfolds.
It's kind of interesting that they don't have like preseason testing. You know, with all the other stuff that they've added to this over the years, like you know, the formation laps and whatnot. Kind of surprised they don't have, you know, and they have the little car reveal and all that, everything. They don't do like the winter testing, which I know is limited these days especially, but I don't know, maybe that's something they'll add later. And I'll say this, that my team is kind of interesting. It's a little different take on things. I do kind of wish, though, that they had a full management type of thing where you're not driving, you're the team principal, you manage everything, you watch the race, you determine strategy. Like, I know there's a bunch of mobile games that do that, but it'd be kind of cool to see it on something like this that kind of has the ability to go into more detail and be more in depth than, you know, some of the mobile games are. Alright, last one is race strategy. I don't know if we'll beat the average speed trap speed, but should be able to get the rest of those, I think.
Give us some consistent laps, please. We're looking for good data that we can work into the race strategy. asked for. Keep it up. Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused. Great lap. You've nailed what we asked for. Keep it up. Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
Pink gears there.
Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can talk you through the numbers. We're low on fuel. Box in the next 2 laps, please. Oops. There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
That's what happens when I pay attention to other things than driving.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap.
In some ways, I almost wish I had gotten a Thrustmaster wheelbase so I could get that new Ferrari wheel. And I could see all that crap on the screen in the wheel instead of having to look down at the bottom right. And I realize the irony of having a Haas-looking car with a Russian #2 driver, but I'm not trying to emulate Haas in any way, shape, or form. The red, white, and blue in this instance is for America, or Texas. Yeah, I think that'll be it for practice. Got everything except for the racing line thing on the fuel management program, but other than that, I think we're all set. So just kind of fast forward a bit to get to qualifying, and I'll stop the video and start up another one for qualifying in the race. We'll go from there. So that wasn't a terrible practice session. We did okay. Yay, level up.
The session has drawn to a close, so let's review our top 3. Bottas, Ricciardo, and Max Verstappen. Sadly, it's time to say goodbye
really
as free
did a
practice
qualifying
is over.
run.
However, we'll be back shortly for more Formula One action.
So points are going to be hard to come by going off of practice. But hey, you know, that's part of being a new team, I guess. Although then again, when Haas was a new team, they started off with tons of, getting points and whatnot because they were running towards the pointy end of the mid-pack. Alright, well, that'll do it for this video. Be sure to tune in for the next one. It's going to be qualifying and the race. And I think in the future, since this included all the preseason stuff, future videos will probably just be qualifying and the race instead of all the practices and everything else. I want the video to be long enough to be entertaining, but not, my typical hour and a half long videos for, the iRacing Grand Prix series and other stuff that I run. So, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Hope everybody enjoys my run at the F1 2021, excuse me. And we'll see you for the next one.